Hello and welcome back to the AA NBA podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Hammond.
And I'm Aditya.
And we've got a special guest all the way from Michigan, Noah.
Hey guys, I'm back.
He is back. Last time we were all in the same building, all in the same room recording this. Now it's just me and Noah in one room. So if there's some fluctuations in sound, that's why, just because we're not all in the same place.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing we got to talk about is TJ Warren is the NBA's all-time leading scorer for the month of August, as of last night.
Yeah, 53?
What do you go, 9 for 12 from the three-point line?
He was super efficient, and he single-handedly beat the Sixers because no one else on the team was playing well.
He shot
we didn't have a center.
4 total free throws, which he is one of 3 players to have a 50-point game with 5 free throws or less. Can you name the other 2?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
No.
And Michael Jordan?
Nope.
Why would you guess Michael Jordan?
I don't know.
He took a lot of free throws. He took like Harden level free throws.
Well, yeah, but he has so many 30-point games.
I'm gonna say.
It's not who you. One of them is not who you think it is.
Terrence Ross.
Mo Williams.
Nope. Do you give up?
Yeah.
Brandon Jennings.
First one, Rick Barry. He scored 64 points on 5 free throws or less. The other one, James Harden.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Noah, your boy.
James Harden has a 50-point game on 5 or less free throws, which is insane. Nice. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you just want to get right into the talking about which teams are done after the first game or two?
Yeah, so basically, for the viewers, because you weren't here for our prep talk, since there's not too much news going on besides like basketball's back, which like let's go, but also there's not been much news. So we're just gonna kind of talk about our impressions of certain teams, with it from the first 2 actual important games, and just sort of like which teams we think really need to like step it up and which teams are like we think are done, their chances are gone.
And we're each gonna pick one team that we think is done. So it could be anybody from 1 to 22. It could be any of the teams, but you have to say like they're done. Like they're not gonna do anything. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not gonna be productive at all.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, so East. I don't know because
we'll just pick one team because there's only like one team that's not.
I think it's probably gonna be the Jazz. I mean, we and Aditya both watched the game earlier against the Thunder, and they looked terrible. I mean, Rudy Gobert was the highest scorer with about 14.
I watched the Jazz versus Pelicans
game,
which was the opener, and they looked terrible.
I mean, Jordan Clarkson was their leading scorer on 35% shooting.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell needs to seriously step it up, or they're screwed.
So you guys both picked the Jazz?
No, that was Noah's pick.
That was mine. Even if it's not the Jazz, it's the Pelicans.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, that was my pick, was the New Orleans Pelicans, because Zion looks out of shape. He gets tired after 5 minutes of play. That whole team's looked bad. Lonzo's been bad at scoring. Sadly, JJ Redick's playoff streak, I think, is over. I don't think they're going to make it.
Should have signed with them.
Because, Brandon Ingram's been all right, but they were really counting on Zion being a productive player, and he is when he plays, but he plays 6-7 minutes and he's taken out of the game because he's completely out of breath.
Well,
I walking with a limp.
I don't think that it's as much that he's out of shape. I think that it's more that they're being so careful because
even when you
Pelicans,
watch though,
for whatever reason, are under the impression that Zion Williamson is super injury prone.
Which he is.
He's just not, though. He's not.
He's not.
He got injured in college. He got injured in the summer league. He got injured in the preseason, and then he missed half the season. That's injury.
Okay, the college one wasn't his fault.
It's not his fault, but it can happen.
The college one is because he's such a freak athlete that he blew
and
out
that can happen again. He's only gotten heavier. It can happen again.
He missed half the season with a fairly minor injury.
But he was relearning how to walk.
Yeah, I mean, but it was not an injury that ends careers, is what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't an ACL, it wasn't an
Yeah, but
Achilles.
you don't need one big injury. Like if you have a bunch of minor injuries, that'll stack up on your body. Like
I know what
your
I'm
body can only
saying
take
is
so much.
Zion Williamson is not injury prone. There's nothing. He's gotten injured a couple times. The Pelicans have overreacted, and now it's affecting their playoff chances. And I don't think they really cared about making the
I
playoffs
mean,
this year
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, they don't need to worry right now.
I mean,
But
I think they're just being careful because like they know they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. Why risk like actually maybe Zion does get hurt? You know,
But they
build for
need him
next
on a
year.
minutes restriction right now. Like, he has to
Yeah,
be on a minutes
Gentry's
restriction.
minute
Because if
restriction
he
is
gets
not
hurt
good.
when they're battling for the 8 seed, like, severely, then that's going to actually impact their chances next season when I think that they could be a top, 5-6 seed if they keep this momentum going.
Yeah.
All right, Aiden, who's
Um,
your team?
my team that is done is the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly's done.
No,
Philly's terrible. Um,
I don't know.
Philadelphia lost to a pretty much injury-riddled Pacers team. No Jeremy Lamb, no Domantas Sabonis, no Malcolm Brogdon. T.J. Warren put up 50. They let T.J. Warren put up 50. T.J. Warren's an excellent scorer. He's averaging about 20 a game. And he's had a couple 30-point games this season. But T.J. Warren is not a guy that drops 50. He's a guy that drops 30 consistently. T.J. Warren is not like a burst scorer like that. He sometimes
Yeah.
will put up 25, 30 and a half, but there's no reason, especially if you're a team like the 76ers that seems to kind of pride themselves
Wait, who's starting him?
on being tough
I think it was
defenders.
Tobias Harris.
So you have an All NBA first team player in Ben Simmons, and you don't put him on him after he's going off?
Well, Simmons
I
was
didn't
on
watch
him.
the
He was
game, I don't
he was
know.
hitting
Oh, he
contested
was?
threes on Simmons. Yeah.
Oh,
See, the crazy thing about that game is that Tobias Harris had like 30
Yeah.
almost. Embiid had 30 and like 20. Ben Simmons had 20, and they still lost to TJ Warren.
You know who they
I
could
will
have
say
used
this.
in that game?
oh.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah, easy.
I will say this: the Pacers need to get a backup center.
Well, they have
Badly.
Goga. Nate McMillan just doesn't play him.
Yeah,
He's just
I
a
don't
raw
really.
prospect.
That was one of
Dumb pick.
Nate's weirdest lineup nights. Just because Nate, for the most part, will play like he doesn't like to play rookies. We know this. We've known this since he took over, and I get why he doesn't do that. But the problem with never playing rookies is you're stuck playing like TJ Leaf, 3 guards and a forward, and trying to guard the second best center in the NBA and a top 10 power forward with that.
Well, the problem is that TJ Leaf was getting minutes. That's where he went wrong.
TJ Leaf is not it.
Like,
Boy,
TJ
Lonzo
Leaf-
made him.
TJ Leaf is a weird player because he'll be ass for 90% of a game, and then he'll have 1 or 2 plays where he'll like have a really nice cut. Like there was a play where he cut to the basket. He basically took it through the lane and had a really nice dunk, and it was just and then he didn't do anything else productive. I think he finished with 4 points, 4 rebounds.
I just think Lonzo made TJ Leaf in college, like LeVar said, and
You
that's
sound
pretty
like
factual by LeVar.
LeVar
That's
Ball.
LeVar stated that. He stated it though, and it's obvious that Lonzo made TJ Leaf.
yeah,
I-
TJ Leaf
I don't
can't
really agree with that.
do anything
I think
good.
I agree. That's
because
like,
I don't think it's fair to say that a player that was good in college was good because another player made them. Like Anthony
I know
Bennett
you
was
don't
good in
watch-
college, but he wasn't good because another player made him good. He was good in college because he was good in college.
Well, he was
Some
also
players
not
just-
supposed to be the number 1 overall
yeah,
pick.
he also was on a shitty team.
I know.
that did
What I'm
not
saying
make it.
is players
Tournament.
don't really make other players in college.
Aiden, did you watch
sometimes
that
people
UCLA
play
team?
better.
Did you watch the UCLA team or no?
Yeah, I did a little bit, and
I remember
know.
I watched almost like all the games that were televised, and I would watch Lonzo just bring the ball up and just lob it up to Leaf. Like, it's every
The thing
play.
is that Leaf just can't make layups in
No.
the NBA for whatever reason.
No,
And
Like I don't
TJ
know if
Leaf's-
Lonzo necessarily made him, but he was able to hit his layups in college.
the other thing is TJ Leaf's probably biggest problem is that he's a terrible rebounder. Lonzo Ball did not make him a good rebounder in college. Like he's a bad NBA rebounder.
Yeah. And the problem is too, Joel Embiid was having a monster game. And
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's
obviously
Joel Embiid.
it's like Goga might not do much, right? I don't think he's the type of dude that's going to clamp Joel Embiid, but at least he's a big body out there. Like we could have used him, you know?
I think
Yeah,
Big O wow.
Goga is
That's
not
big
gonna
out.
let because the other thing that Pacers. So if you didn't watch the game, which you might not have, Miles Turner got in foul trouble pretty early, so he basically didn't play most of the second quarter, the entirety of the third quarter, and then another big part of the fourth quarter. So the Pacers were throwing like T.J. Leaf, T.J. Warren, Doug McDermott, like Jakar Sampson, and like Victor Oladipo at Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. Which if you know any of those players, some of them are solid defenders, but like not for big guys. Like Jakar Sampson's an example of a pretty gritty, good defender, but he's just not quite quick enough to keep up with those guys.
I just realized Brett Brown could have played Matisse because he's a good defender, and then he played
Matisse did play.
10 minutes. What did he play, like 10 minutes though? If even?
Um,
Because when I looked at the scoreboard, he barely played.
I
Let me
think
pull it up real quick.
I think he guarded TJ. I read something about this earlier. I think he guarded
Yep.
TJ for like a total of like 50 seconds or something.
Yeah, Matisse Thybulle played 12
I don't
minutes.
get that. Matisse Thybulle's like one of the best 3-and-D
Yeah,
prospects
but
that's in the league.
I can understand why you'd rather have Ben Simmons on him.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like, if he's getting cooked, bro, throw someone else on him.
he also had 4 personal fouls, so I think he got in foul
Batista?
trouble early.
Yeah.
He did have 4 fouls, so that's.
And then he
Well,
only
the
had
thing is-
3 points, so he wasn't exactly doing much on the offensive end for them either.
Well, he's a 3-and-D guy. He's not gonna do much on offense.
Yeah, his one shot that he made was a 3.
Yeah.
The thing is, too, this game was like really close, but it wouldn't have been as close because the rest of the Pacers team besides T.J. Warren really did not play well.
Yeah,
Aaron Holiday did fine, but
Aaron Holiday did
good.
fine.
He did
I
good.
really
He went 50% double-double.
Yeah, probably. I noticed really a weird shift and this has kind of been the case all season. I don't know how many Pacers games people in the audience have watched, but for whatever reason, TJ McConnell, whenever he comes in, is kind of the spark off the Pacers bench.
He's gritty. That's
yeah,
why. He's just a gritty
he's
player.
gritty. He's like just a little point guard. He's 6'1", just under 200 pounds. He's got a really great eye for passing. He had a beautiful pass between 2 defenders to a cutting Doug McDermott, which was like probably the play of the game for me. It was just a really great pass.
All right.
So
I told Aditya this earlier in the car. You know how we got TJ Warren for straight cash, right?
yeah,
Let's say we give the Suns Justin Holiday and $500K for Devin Booker. Who says no?
probably the Suns, and also probably Herb Simon, because I think that would take us over the luxury tax because of Ben Simmons.
We'll just have the Suns pay it. We're like, yo, Suns, you're not using them.
Yeah, just
we
keep
can
them on the
use them.
payroll.
Yeah, like we can use them.
like they're not winning games.
Yeah, like
We'll just
Maybe even
we'll borrow Devin Booker from you for the playoffs.
all right. I do think we need to shift towards another team because we talked about for the Pacers for the last. 10
Well,
minutes.
let's talk about the Sixers now. So I chose to
Hey, you picked the Sixers.
say
Whereas
the
Tino's gonna
Sixers
struggle.
were done because the Pacers were without I would say 2 of their probably 4 best players this year. Their All-Star and then Malcolm Brogdon, who was playing like an All-Star before he got hurt. And the Pacers still pretty comfortably beat the Sixers. Like, I know it was only 6 points, but like there was a point in the last 10 or like 2 minutes or so where they were up by like 10, 11 points. What do the Sixers do at this point? Like, I mean,
Well, I think most people like I don't understand why, but the mainstream media is like this. Don't count the Sixers out, but
because
I
the
think
76ers have 2 top 15 or top 25 players.
I get that, but I think
It's like
most
top 15.
NBA fans have counted the Sixers out. Hopefully, because they're not a good team.
Well,
Um,
Sixers
They just
fans
need to
have
fire Brett Brown.
No,
Yeah,
that's
fire
not.
Brett
Here's
Brown.
Brett Brown's not going to solve anything. That team is constructed so poorly that
They shouldn't have brought in Al Horford.
they shouldn't have brought in
They
Al
signed
Horford.
Al Horford so no one else could sign him.
That's
what it was.
we've talked about that in the last couple of weeks. That Al Horford was basically a signing to be like, hey, Toronto, Boston, Milwaukee, none of you guys can get him because he's the one guy. Who
But
could
the
shut
problem
Embiid
with
down.
that is they got him pretty early. They didn't have to pay him that max. They chose to pay him the max.
Do you think,
You know,
do you legitimately think that he would get a max from any other team? Do you think it was
No.
like a situation where they were like, Boston's going to give him $100 million and he's probably going to stay?
because they were. I'm pretty sure they were the first team to offer.
Boston wasn't going to give him a contract because they wanted to part ways with him.
Yeah.
Now if the Bucks got Al Horford, I feel like that'd be a perfect fit for them.
Well, that would put them in cap hell, I think, because they were also getting Chris Middleton's contract.
Oh, the dogs are going crazy. Hold on, let's pause the recording.
All right, 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, we're back after a slight interruption. So we were talking about the Sixers.
Yes.
Do we have anything else to say about the Sixers? I mean,
they should have done everything they possibly could to keep Jimmy.
Yeah.
Brought in maybe a good shooting
Like, I know
guard
he wasn't planning on staying anyway. Like, we've talked about this before. He talked about it on the JJ Redick podcast where he thought, like, he knew he wasn't going to stay because there was no leadership or anything going on that team.
They
Although
should
I
have
feel
prided
like
themselves to keep JJ Redick also.
I feel like if the Sixers were like, what was the max contract? Because technically he played for them, so they could have given him 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Like they could have just given him a...
I don't think he would have stayed in Philadelphia. He didn't like that team, I don't think.
They also should have kept JJ Redick. They should have.
That
should have been a priority.
That was huge.
Yeah, because they basically have like little to no.
Like they're starting Shake Milton.
They're like,
Shake Milton's good.
All right,
bench,
Furkan Korkmaz and Matisse Thybulle go out there and take the bulk of our threes and everything. And they're like, oh, okay, shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple other games. Lakers Clippers showdown. You want to go into that?
Sure. So if anyone didn't watch,
AD went off.
AD went off. He had an insane game. He was the reason they won because LeBron was not playing well.
I mean, LeBron clamped the last 10 seconds on PG and Kawhi.
Sure, but
he
offensively
he was the game before that.
And offensively he was not playing. I was just talking about this. LeBron was playing like he does at the beginning, like he did at the beginning of this season, where he was like all right, but he was putting up like 20 and 10, and he just was. He looked like he just couldn't like play well. Like he couldn't play like past LeBron, and I think he's probably just saving his energy for the playoffs. But it is still a bad look, to have stuff like that happen.
Yeah, I think that this is. I think LeBron showed his age a little bit. Not to say that he's old now. We know he's old, but I think he might have shown that, maybe a 35-year-old can't keep up with the young guys quite as well, especially if it's a team like the Clippers are at full power now. The Clippers are at absolute full throttle. They're going full head of steam towards the second seed in the playoffs. They were at their, max powers, and they lost by 2.
And they didn't have Lou Will or Montrezl Harrell either.
And they didn't have Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, and one other person who none of us remember.
That was Patrick Beverley, but it's not.
He played.
Who was it then?
I don't remember. But
Lou Will,
also, that Raptors game was bad.
Which one?
Yeah. So do you want to talk about that? So do you want to just make this the Lakers segment, or we just talk about the Lakers?
They got manhandled,
whooped by the Raptors. Like not even gonna sugarcoat it at all. I
saw a thing. You know how there's like LeBronto?
Yeah.
It's like Lowry Angeles now.
That's stupid.
Oh yeah, well, because Lowry.
He had like 33.
Yeah.
In the 4 matchups between the Lakers and Raptors since the Raptors or since LeBron moved to Los Angeles, the Raptors are 4-0. So yeah. I don't know how many games LeBron was playing in, but if we got this as a finals series, that would be fucking awesome. I want to see that so bad.
I mean, OG Anunoby outscored LeBron, and that says something.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So LeBron this game scored 20 points. He was the Lakers' hold on, let me check this out. He was the Lakers' leading scorer. Their next best scorer. Take a guess. If you guys aren't looking at the box score, take
I
a
am.
guess of who.
Do I gotta take a guess?
Yeah.
My AD. I think AD had like 14. Is it Kuzma?
Yeah, it's Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma dropped 16 points. He's Lakers'
didn't look
second
at it.
leading scorer.
I didn't look at it.
I don't believe you.
Well, how? I can't even see it. I can't read the names or the points. I swear to God.
He's lying. He looked at it.
I literally can't read the names.
Yes, you can.
The first one is LeBron. The second one is Davis or
He's
Green.
lying.
What is it then? I actually cannot
He's
see
trying.
it.
He's trying to
I
cover
actually
up
didn't
for
see
the
it.
fact
I
that
didn't see
he
it.
looked at the screen.
But we can say this: bullying works with Lakers players because Kuzma's playing well now.
Yeah, he's had a few good games.
No,
Bullying works.
Kuzma scored some garbage time points in a blowout. I don't really think that,
Works for
I don't
KCP.
think that this is him turning the corner or anything.
Works for KCP.
Oh, he had a pretty bad game.
Well, that was the beginning of the season. We just gotta bully him again.
I mean,
AD scored 14.
Yeah.
Dion Waiters was the fourth leading scorer, scoring 12. Alex Caruso was fifth, scoring 11. This is ridiculous. This cannot happen again.
Yeah, Danny Green shot 0 of 7.
Yeah, Danny Green has he scored this? In
The
bubble
only
yet?
three players with a positive plus minus are Markieff Morris was plus 10 on the floor. Dion Waiters was plus 8, and Alex Caruso was plus 2. Everybody else, but none of those guys played more than 25.
Wasn't it just
minutes.
Lowry that did well?
No, I mean, OG and Anunoby had 23. Freddie and Pascal both had... Well, Freddie had 13. Pascal had 15.
So Pascal didn't play well.
And, I mean, most of it was just defense, though. Like,
Yeah.
they held Anthony Davis to 14
Yeah.
points.
Kyle
I feel like
Kyle Lowry's the story of this game. He dropped 33. He was plus 27. He had 2 assists, 7 rebounds. Oh
Yeah,
wait, I'm reading the wrong thing.
thickest
I mean,
NBA
he had
player.
he had 6 assists, 14 rebounds
Because he's thick.
as a 6'1" guard. That's that's wild. Yeah, the Lakers. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they gotta figure it the fuck out if they want.
They have not looked
if they want
good.
to win the championship. I think I have bumped them down a spot in my power rankings, even though they won their first game. I think I have them below the Clippers because they got fucking whooped today, and the Clippers beat the shit out of the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pelicans aren't good. Like,
Yeah.
we've gone over
No,
this.
they-
We talked about this earlier. The Pelicans aren't good.
They're not. I don't think they're making it.
They're not making it. I don't even know who's going to get the 8th seed because did the Grizzlies won the first game?
I know that it's a meme, but the Pelicans are a year away from being a year away.
Did they play?
Like that's
that was a good
like-
game.
That's kind of what I think of them as. I think they're gonna be like, if they make the playoffs, it'll probably be like 5, 6 seed or below. And I think that the year after that, they're gonna be contending in the West.
But then I really do not know who has the 8th seed right now because the Grizzlies lost to the Blazers, even though most players played well, and they're losing right now. I think to the Spurs,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and no one on the Spurs is even playing well. And the Spurs.
let's do our. So that's a good way to segue, actually, Noah, into our Western Conference race for the 8th seed update. So.
I literally do not know who had. I mean, did the Suns won the first game? Who did they beat?
I don't remember. I don't.
So
tune
I'm
into
gonna
the
go ahead and
Suns.
say it. I would say that pretty much everybody in the West below the 10 seed is, I would say, out. I would say that I don't
Kings
think
are
there's
out.
any way the Suns, Spurs, or who's the other one?
Pelicans.
Kings.
Yeah.
Spurs are the 10 seed. It's the Pelicans are the so it's Sacramento's the 11
But it's
seed.
because the Pelicans have lost 2 in a row.
Well, yeah.
So I would say, well, then maybe top 11 because I do think the Pelicans. Oh wait,
Pelicans
below
are the 12th.
Kings. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would say,
I genuinely, if anything, it's gonna be close between
The Blazers and the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
but the
Blazers and
have
Grizzlies.
have the one up if they even out. But how does it even work again for the 8th
if
seed?
you're within 4, they do a 2-game play-in.
So they got to Grizzlies got to win now.
Well, the problem, I think if Portland doesn't make it, I think the way San Antonio's been playing right now, they have the best shot. because the Kings I don't think are going to make it. I didn't think they were going to make it coming into this. Same with the Suns. Pelicans have looked bad, and San Antonio hasn't looked like amazing, but other than the Blazers, they're the best team.
I mean,
Okay,
the
out of
Blazers
the
just
West.
lost, didn't they? Didn't the
yeah.
Blazers
So
lose? Yeah, they lost.
currently the Blazers are 2.5 games back from the Grizzlies. I'm not sure if that's updated. It's not because it says that the Blazers have lost won 2 straight. So the Blazers, it looks like, are
They
still going to
lost.
be 2.5 games back from the Grizzlies if the
Mhm.
Grizzlies lose today. If they win, then the Grizzlies will be 3.5 games up from the.
I mean,
The
it's a
Spurs are
10-point
winning
game.
by 10 right now, and if they win, they pass the Blazers and they get even closer to Memphis.
And it's just in both sides of this game. It looks like a bad game. There's no one has a lot of points. I mean, DeJounte Murray's the leading scorer.
The
for
Spurs
the
are
Spurs.
balanced out though because DeJounte, Derek
Yeah.
White, and Lonnie Walker are all playing
The
well.
Grizzlies are really balanced.
It's-
Really balanced.
I'm not watching it, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I know in the first
Ja
game,
playing.
Jaren Jackson.
Ja's got
The-
15 and 7. In
Yeah,
6
the first
rebounds.
game, I know Jaren Jackson and Ja both played really well. Jaren had like 33 and Ja had like 24 or something like that.
Ryan
Yeah,
was
Ja
watching
was
it before he went to the
crazy.
park. Apparently, the Grizzlies could have won it in regulation, but Dylan Brooks took a bunch of shots at the end of the game to try and win it instead of giving it to like Ja or Trey J.
Oh,
Dylan Brooks tried to like be the hero and he missed all of his shots
I
and
mean,
sent
if
it in
you have a
OT.
hot hand and Jaren Jackson, give it to him. That boy is different. Because it's like the one game he can stay on the floor and he doesn't foul out.
Yeah.
Because he's got 3 right now. That's a first.
All right, so do we want to move on from our Western Conference 8 seed update? We gotta think
Sure.
of a better name.
Do we want to
for
make
that
a
because that's
prediction?
kind of
Do we want to make a prediction? Did any of us make a prediction, though?
My
Yeah,
prediction is
I-
that the Blazers take it.
I think
I've got-
Grizz.
I've got Grizzlies as well.
I got the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies will pick it up. I mean, as long as Jaren Jackson can stay on the floor and not foul,
Which is asking a lot.
That is asking a lot, but
Yeah, but I think Ja's enough to put them over the edge. With
They
that
also have
score,
Brandon
even
Clark.
if Jaren
Brandon-
Jackson doesn't play the last 5 minutes of some games, like I think that Ja's enough.
See, I don't know because Yusuf Nurkic has been playing really well in his
He
comeback. Zach Collins has proven to be important for that team. I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
They're
the
just
Blazers, the Blazers have now lost one.
They're one
The
and one.
Blazers are basically in a.
Well, they should have to stay within 4.
Yeah, is it 3 games?
They
play,
do,
or
but
is
I
it
don't
1?
see them winning. I also don't see
Um,
them winning 2 straight against the Grizzlies.
So it's
like-
3. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
see
no,
it.
it's if the Grizzlies have to win 1, the team that's trying to
Oh,
make it
okay,
has to
yeah.
win 2.
The team has to win
Um,
2 straight though. They can't win 2 out of 3. If they
Who do the
lose one,
Spurs
they're
also
done.
play? Well, let's just see. The Spurs
Yeah.
play the 76ers, the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Pelicans, Rockets, and Jazz. Sorry, I was hitting the bed. So the Sixers can go either way. The Nuggets will probably win, but then they got probably 1 win against the Jazz. Would you say?
Yeah, the Jazz have been bad. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would
if-
take the Rockets over them, and they probably can beat the Pelicans. Would you say that too, Aiden?
Are you talking about the Blazers?
No, this is the Spurs.
Oh, the Spurs. I
don't think the
could
Spurs beat the
anybody in the
Pelicans.
top. I think the Spurs could beat anybody actually right now.
All right,
The
let me
way
check
that-
the
like
Blazers.
not anybody, but I think they could beat.
I don't think they
let's-
can beat. Let me see
Let's
the
look at
Blazers
this.
play. Blazers play the Rocket. Blazers have a tough schedule.
Yeah,
I think that the
don't think they can
Spurs
get it.
beat. Let me look. Let me pull up their schedule right here. I think that the Spurs can beat Memphis. I think they're going to beat Memphis. I think they can beat Philly. I think they can beat Utah, New Orleans, and
So that's what
Utah
we said.
again. And then I
Yes.
think Houston and Denver are both 50. I think they're probably going to lose to Denver, but I could see them beating Houston.
I don't see the Trailblazers getting in with after I looked at their schedule.
Yeah,
Well,
Their schedule's too difficult. The Rockets
Yeah,
is a throw up.
I got to go with
The
no
Nuggets. The Nuggets. The
the
Nuggets.
thing
have too
is,
much
the
depth.
Rockets are a 50-50 seeing how Russ and Harden shoot. The Nuggets, I think, will win. The Clippers will win. They'll beat the
Oh,
Sixers. They can
shit.
beat the Mavericks, and they'll definitely beat the
Trailblazers.
Nets.
I don't know, DT. The Trailblazers
That's a
have got a
tough
gauntlet
schedule.
of the Western
That is a
Conference.
gauntlet.
They also
Not to
have
mention-
Damian Lillard.
Not to mention, if they get that, they have to.
Yeah, no,
play the
I don't.
play-in
I
game.
think they're gonna get whooped by Houston.
I don't think
Denver's
so.
Gonna beat them. I think they're gonna get whooped by Los Angeles, the Clippers. I think Philadelphia is maybe a win. I think that Dallas is also maybe a win, and I think that Brooklyn is a win.
I think they definitely beat Brooklyn. I think they beat Dallas. They'll beat the Sixers. They'll lose to the Clippers. They'll lose to the Nuggets, and I think they can beat the Rockets because it just really depends on how Russ and Harden shoot that game.
It
I
also
don't know,
depends
but
on
also,
how
like,
Russ
if-
and Lillard get into it.
Well, yeah, I think
That's gonna
if they
be-
get into it, Lillard wins that.
Yeah,
'Cause he's a better player.
Lillard is a better player.
Yeah,
than
but Russ also has James Harden.
And James
like-
Harden could shoot 2 of 20 for all we know. It really just
Yeah.
depends.
What do you see?
Yeah,
CJ
but they
McCollum
have
guarding him.
nobody who can guard James Harden.
Yeah,
the thing with the thing with Portland last year versus the Thunder is like Paul George and Russell Westbrook both played badly, and then they also had CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard who could actually both kind of defend Paul George and Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook, James Harden is
That's
basically
pushing
unguardable by anybody on the Trailblazers.
Well, here's the
CJ
thing.
McCollum.
Even then, they still have Yusuf Nurkic has come back. Zach Collins has come back. So they have all their bigs back, and the Rockets don't have a single big. And I know they've been able to play well with the small ball, but it's
Harder-bodied
not going to
Kristaps.
work all the time.
I mean, but then again, the Blazers have a big lineup that they try and throw out with Zach Collins, Hassan
Yeah, they
Whiteside,
didn't
and
really.
Nurkic.
Actually, Aditya, I disagree. The Rockets didn't seem to have really any trouble with the Mavericks,
Yeah.
who are one of the bigger teams in the NBA.
Because Kristaps doesn't play in the post all the time.
Kristaps
Like, he
is-
stretches
I know,
more
but
than
they
he
also
plays in the
have
post.
Luka Doncic. They have Maxi Kleber. They've got
Maxey? Dorian.
who else have they got? They got another guy.
Boban.
I forget who's also a 7-footer. They got Willie Cauley-Stein.
I'm sorry, I'm taking Yusuf Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside over all those guys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Maxi
They got
Kleber,
Boban,
Willie
Dwight
Cauley-Stein,
Powell. Like,
Boban. No,
but
give
what
me
I'm saying is
Yusuf
that-
Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside and Zach Collins are all better than those guys.
What
Maybe
I'm saying is that the Rockets didn't really have. The Rockets have had zero trouble with bigger teams this year.
They really haven't.
Like, in fact, they're playing better against like when they went to small ball, they started playing better somehow.
Well, that's just because
Along with also, it's looking like Seth Curry is gonna be dropping some baskets. Tim
His
Hardaway
last
Jr.
game
and
was
Trey
terrible.
Burke. Got to give Trey Burke a little bit of credit.
You were
they-
dissing him on the Xbox last night. I don't want to hear it. You
no,
were
I
dissing.
do have to do it on the podcast. Yeah, I did that to bother you because I know he's your boy. But like, I have to give him a little bit of credit because
Rick Carlisle needs to
balled
fix his
out.
minutes.
Trey Burke will have one more good game in the bubble.
probably
Tim Hardaway
more likely
Jr.
than
will-
not. But I'm not gonna. But like, if they can rely on him for 10 or 15 points, like, you know, like what I'm saying is that the Rockets won while a guy like Trey Burke was dropping 30. Like that. You know what I
Carlisle just needs
mean?
to fix his minutes. I mean, he barely played Trey Burke in overtime in the fourth, yet he was 7 to 7 at one point from 3.
Yeah, I also probably wouldn't play Trey Burke in the fourth though.
I mean, if he's a hot hand, you gotta give it to him because score.
What else we got? Do
Okay,
we want to
so
keep talking about the
The Rockets won by 4 in OT against the Mavericks, and Kristaps had 39 and 16. So I think it's safe to say they didn't
They didn't really
body
stop him.
Kristaps.
They just, I
They
think
didn't
we.
stop.
They
Kristaps,
won.
but, like,
They
when-
won because Dorian Finney-Smith didn't do anything, and
Seth Curry didn't either.
and Seth Curry didn't do anything.
And Seth Curry's supposed to be. That
And
good.
Seth Curry's supposed to, at least if Seth Curry scores 5 points, they could win that game. Like it.
Yeah, what
And
I'm
Luka
saying
shot
is
1
that
of
the
9 from
Rockets-
3 as well.
But the Rockets still won with Kristaps putting up a monster game. What I'm saying is that the Rockets don't struggle with length. Like they just don't. They struggle with other stuff. The Rockets
It's just
can
'cause
shoot
offensive
themselves
side.
out of a game, but they're not going to let the other team's big men keep them out of the game.
Well, it's
Right?
just because they can attack that big man.
They're also
Perfect.
running a consistent 7 to 8 man rotation every game. They can't do that for the entire playoffs.
No chance.
With the style of basketball they play, they won't be
Can't
able
play
to
what?
keep
PJ
that.
Tucker the entire game.
Yeah, PJ Tucker can't play
Well,
40
they
minutes a
also-
game.
I think they're also. Let me take a quick lookie. But they sat 5 guys, and I think 3 of them are actual usual rotation players. They sat.
What's a 5-point game?
They sat Luka Mbamute, Damari Carroll, Tyson Chandler, and then 2 guys. who
Chandler
I've
doesn't
never
play.
They don't play Tyson Chandler
Chandler doesn't
anyway.
play.
They don't play any of those guys anyway. They didn't play Chris Clemens, who's
Actually,
the one
Damari
guy
Carroll
on that
does
team
play
that they really do
sometimes.
play.
He's averaging 11 minutes a game. So he does get bench minutes. I think Lukemba Mute was a late signing this year. I don't remember him being on that team. Maybe it's just because he never played. No, this season Lukemba Mute is playing 15 minutes a game
Grizzlies are
at the
coming
power
back.
forward spot.
And the Magic are starting to whoop the Kings in the first quarter.
It's a 3-point game.
It's a 9-point game.
It's a 9-point game. But
Oh, my thing's not updated.
That's not
All right,
either.
do we want to move on from the Rockets? Because I think we have pretty different opinions about them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
the Spurs are letting the Grizzlies back in the game, so there's that.
Well, they were never out of the game. It was like 10 points.
It was a 12-point game when we stopped talking about it. I was looking at it.
Later tonight, Bucks Rockets. That'll be a good game, and then
Yeah,
Mavericks
that's
Suns.
Mavs Suns will be a good game.
Dark Horse Finals preview. I would
No.
like to see that
No.
because the Bucks would definitely win. No, I actually do have that as a Dark Horse Finals because I think the Rockets are in. I think my second team who could make it out of the West potentially.
I don't even
Like,
know if we can make it out of the West.
I think of the Lakers and Clippers, of the teams after that, I think that the Nuggets and Rockets are in the next tier of teams.
Yeah, I put no trust in the Rockets. I give
Yeah,
the
I'm
Thunder
sorry.
a better chance to make the playoffs than the Rockets.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that a fully rested James Harden, we saw it last night. James Harden dropped 49. He doesn't drop 49 in April usually. Like this is what the NBA season usually is in April, right? Like we're in the home stretch. James Harden usually is not dropping 50 still. James Harden's coming off of 4.5 months of rest. Same with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook just kind of figured out how to play with the Rockets.
Hey, but Harden doesn't have any strip clubs.
Harden, yeah, doesn't have any distractions, which is actually a good thing.
Doesn't he play better with strip clubs? No.
No, he doesn't. Miami is
No,
like
he
his
plays
worst place to
significantly
play
worse. Remember
because
that
of their
Miami
strip
game
clubs.
where they lost by like 40 points?
Someone needs to just bring strippers into the
Yeah,
bubble
I mean, might as
just to
well.
get James Harden.
I'm down for that.
Strategical advantage.
Yes, just say it's your
Yeah,
family. Because they're
gonna
moving
pick-
towards letting fans in.
They
towards,
shouldn't.
Like not like a lot, not fans, like your family.
They shouldn't.
Just two in.
No.
I'm gonna pick
I
the
would not
Rockets to
trust them.
cover. Actually, it's a 4.5
That's your dark
point
horse?
spread. So I think that the Rockets are gonna cover this game tonight. I think it's gonna be a close one. I don't know if I would pick them to win, but I think it's gonna be a 4-point game or less. This is a game I'm pretty excited to watch actually.
They don't have anyone to guard Giannis.
Yeah,
That's why the
but
Celtics
the
are going to
Bucks don't have
struggle.
anybody that can guard Russell Westbrook or James Harden.
Eric Bledsoe's a pretty good
Eric
defender.
Bledsoe's a good defender.
Yeah, but
That's
he's
why.
never- whenever they put Eric Bledsoe on James Harden, he's not able to do anything.
Yeah, because it's James Harden. No one's able to do anything. Otherwise, he
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
be
so
averaging
why did you bring
37
up Eric
points per
Bledsoe?
game.
Strippers can. I am going to say this. I don't think Celtics. They played well today, but I don't think they're going to be able to do this against the Bucks in a 7-game
Yeah,
series.
I agree.
They don't
actually.
have Horford. They don't have Horford. That was their main piece.
Horford
Even-
was the reason they won one game
Yeah.
last year.
They're
Let me
short.
look
They're
at-
too
so let me
short.
look
They
at
don't
the
have a
Celtics
wall.
Team.
They don't. It's Giannis. A wall doesn't
Well,
stop
no, what I mean,
Giannis.
like the wall, like the Raptors had. They had the Pascal was guarding.
That worked well because
yeah,
they
but
had
last year,
Kawhi
Boston
Leonard.
didn't have any.
Well, true,
Boston
but
didn't
they
have
also-
the playoff personnel to make them do that. Like,
I
to
mean,
make a
yeah,
wall.
Boston has one of the best coaches in the NBA, but they're too short. Tice,
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a matter of being too short. I think it's a matter of they have not, like, the Heat and the Raptors have both figured out a way to at least
Stop.
slow Giannis down. if
because
not
they have big
completely
7-footers.
stop him.
They
They really do, because no, they're not really, because Pascal and Serge Ibaka last season was enough to stop Giannis in the playoffs.
That's still 6'9".
Bam's only
6'10".
6'9". Like, you don't need a huge
Tyson's
Whoa,
dude.
whoa,
6'8".
whoa, Aditya. Let's not oversimplify the box in one defense. It was not
I'm not
just
saying
Serge
that-
Ibaka and Pascal.
No, I'm not.
It was
But
Serge
what I'm
Ibaka,
saying is
Pascal,
that's not what I'm
Marcus
saying.
Smart.
I'm saying you don't need multiple
old
7-footers
Marcus
to
Smart,
stop
just
Giannis. That's all
But
I'm
you
saying.
need what you don't.
you need
the
at
Celtics
least-
don't have that.
I would say 3 elite defensive players.
I'd
And
say
the
that.
Celtics just don't have that, especially not defensive like forwards and centers.
Celtics got Taco.
Who can play 10 minutes a game before he gets tired?
Yeah. Hey, but throw him in crunch time.
Yeah, I don't know if I would play Taco against Giannis.
What can go wrong? He either
You
gets
just
dunked on
you
or
keep losing, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, who's the tallest player that they played?
Cantor.
Cantor doesn't play that much.
Cantor, Theus, or
Tice is like
Tice-
6'8".
Tice is 6'8". He's short.
yeah, yeah, 6'8" is short now. But I think
Short
he is
by
one of the
NBA
short
tallest
standards
people they
for a
play.
center.
Sure, he's a gritty player, but that's not gonna work.
But what I'm saying is, I think he is one of the tallest players they play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. I think Tatum's 6'8" also, and Brown is 6'7", and Kemba's 6 foot, and there's Marcus Smart. I mean, Marcus Smart's an All
Marcus Smart's
NBA
like 6'3", but
all
Marcus Smart can guard
defensive.
any
Sorry,
NBA.
I didn't. Smart. I don't know what I was gonna say.
He just said smart and then looked away from the mic.
I said Smart was an All NBA when I meant to say All Defensive first team player.
Yeah, honestly, I have never seen a less convincing win than the one that the Celtics have today.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it. It's I don't think it's
Um,
looking too good for them.
I mean, if Nurkic is dropping 30, I mean Nurkic isn't bad, but if Nurkic is dropping 30 on
Oh, you know what? Who we forgot about? Robert Williams. Oh wait,
Does he
6'8".
play?
Never mind.
yeah, Robert Williams is short also.
He also
It's-
plays. He plays 14 minutes a game. No, a 6'8" is not short.
For
Right,
NBA
for
standards,
NBA standards for a center, yes,
that
it
is short. I know we're moving towards shorter NBA centers, but we aren't there yet.
Mm,
Go.
you can get away with a smaller center.
Not against Giannis.
Not
against
against
Giannis.
Giannis, but like, I'm saying that I don't think that 6'8" is that short for a center nowadays. It's not ideal, but like, you know.
Marcus Smart shot a solid 0 for 4.
Yeah, so the Celtics. Let's do a
The
little
Celtics
recap
shot
of this game.
so
the Celtics
efficiently.
blew like a 25-point lead.
Yes, Celtics.
If you
And
take
they ended
out
up
Semi
squeaking it out.
Ojeleye and Grant Williams, like 20 minutes they played together, this team shot 60% from the field. That's insane. And they shot like 65% from
Yeah.
three without those
Nurkic
two.
was out of his mind again. 30 points,
Yeah.
60% from the field, 9 rebounds, 5 assists.
Gary Trent Jr. had a good game off the bench. 7-11 from the 3-point line.
He's a good player. He's super underrated, actually.
He's from Duke. There's Duke
Yeah,
Gardner. Good.
the Celtics have got to really wow me in these next couple games to make me think that they're going to be a decent team in the playoffs.
They lost to the Bucks, didn't they?
They lost to the Bucks. They nearly lost to the Trailblazers. They let Lillard get 16 assists on him. Come on now.
Well, a lot of that was probably just feeding it to Nurkic.
Probably, but still, like, it's bad when another team's ball movement is that good.
The one thing I can say in defense of the Celtics is that Bucks game was kind of close still, and if Jason Tatum's not shooting 2 of 18, they
That's
might have
bad.
won.
That is very bad.
Yeah, but he can't do that again, and I think he will.
I mean,
Like if your
a player we know
entire
isn't going to
team
play well is Jaden.
if your entire team hinges on whether or not
Wait,
one player shoots well from the field, then you're fucked.
Guys, Chris Middleton against the Celtics shot 6 of 20. He's moving further away from 50, 40, 90.
Oh, that's bad actually.
Yeah.
All right. What's one player for each player that needs to step up to help their team? you think?
LeBron.
I'm going with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, that's fair too.
Donovan Mitchell is playing like hot garbage.
I'm gonna
Talk
say
louder.
Jason Tatum.
Okay. You say Tatum?
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Tatum had a good game though today.
Yeah, he did have a good game, but he had a really bad game too. Yeah, Jason
Okay.
Tatum dropped 34, 8, and 4 today. Good, really good.
Donovan Mitchell the past 2 games has 5 for 15 against the Thunder. And what did he shoot against the Pelicans?
Bad.
Very bad. I remember that too. I was watching that game. 6 for 14. Yeah, I mean,
That's not bad,
It's
but
not
it's
bad,
not
but,
good.
14 is not bad.
but 20 points only, and
20's not bad. The problem with that
20
team was
is
they just
also not
couldn't
bad.
hold.
Donovan Mitchell did not have a bad game
The-
against New Orleans.
No, he did when you watched
His
the game. They
standards.
couldn't hold on to
Yeah.
the ball. They kept turning it over. The only reason they won the game was because the Pelicans also kept turning it over.
and I don't know if you watched that, but I was watching that game and it was bad. I mean, every team was turning it over.
Yeah, this game was that game.
41 total turnovers for each. For
Yeah,
combined.
they were bad.
41.
Donovan Mitchell needs to play a little bit better. And I said LeBron because he hasn't been great over the past 2 games. And Aiden, who'd you say?
Tatum.
Tatum?
I said Tatum.
Yeah.
I'll give you Tatum.
I think it's pretty obvious. Like, in the one game he plays really poorly, they lose. In the one game he plays well, they win.
I mean, Jaylen Brown is just super consistent also, which is good. He's played 2 straight good games.
Yeah.
Well, 2 games doesn't mean too much. We're kind of just going based on predictions at this point, but
I feel like, I don't know, Kemba only had 2 assists against the Bucks.
Well, Kemba's not a pass-first player. He, playing with the Charlotte Hornets for most of your career, you don't exactly develop good passing tendencies.
That's true.
But, I mean,
the Celtics were very efficient.
There is still a lot of time. Like, most of these teams are secured in the playoffs already, so there's time to, step it up. But
another player on the Celtics is Kemba. He was efficient, but 14 points for Kemba is kind of bad.
Well, he's like the third option on that team. He doesn't have to take a lot of shots.
I'd say him and Brown are tied for second option.
Brown's the second option on that team.
Yeah, Brown's the second scoring option, at least. Kemba runs the offense, but Brown's the second option.
Kemba doesn't have to be like a 25 point per game scorer anymore. He can ease back and take less shots because that team will win anyway.
That's why I say that Jason Tatum has to play well, because he is definitely their first option.
They also need Marcus Smart to start hitting his threes like he was earlier in the year.
Well, he's not there to score necessarily. They need
but
he's
evolved his
when
game.
Marcus Smart does hit threes. That's essential.
When he gets hot, that's a big part of why they win. He's starting to evolve his game into the 3-and-D player.
Marcus Smart's 3-point shooting is pretty essential to the Celtics' success.
I'd say that. Because he's already like the best defender on that team, no matter what player he's guarding.
Yeah.
If he can just hit maybe 1, 2, 3 threes a game, that's gonna help them because it takes pressure off Tatum and Brown.
Yeah. What else we got? Anything?
No, I think that's about it.
That's pretty much it. I mean,
we just gotta kind of wait we just gotta kind of wait and see how things play out over the next 6 or 7 games.
I mean, the Grizzlies have 51 seconds. I mean, you guys want to sit and wait for the
I don't.
Grizzlies game to finish? It's 104-101 with 50 seconds.
It's going to be a minute. We can
that is true.
We can talk about a little bit. So, DeJounte Murray playing pretty well. Rudy Gay playing well. Lonnie Walker playing well.
DeRozan is there.
Did Aldridge opt out of the bubble? And did I just?
He's getting surgery.
He got surgery. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That was like at the beginning of quarantine, wasn't it?
I saw an Instagram thing. It was like, which player would you rather have? And it was Aldridge and Sabonis, and it was like 79% for Aldridge.
Yeah.
Well, he's been in the league. Like Sabonis, this is his first year being an All-Star. LaMarcus Aldridge has been consistently good.
Still. I don't know. Who's playing well on the good?
I guess right now I'd take Sabonis, obviously, but
Grayson Allen's having a good game.
I hate Grayson Allen. You can go.
He's such a dick.
Is that who's Melton? He has 5 fouls.
D'Anthony Melton?
Yeah.
Isn't he their backup point guard?
Yeah. I mean, Grayson Allen are. Anthony Tolliver's still on the NBA team. Damn.
Yeah, he was part of like the last second trade deadline moves.
Jaren stayed on the floor today. John Morant. Is there any other games on or no?
One thing I will say too, like the Nuggets have been consistently good, but they kind of got manhandled by the Heat. Bam popped off. Jimmy Butler played well. Kelly Olynyk off the bench was good, but like Jokic, I mean, he did fine, but they need to play better if they want to win. Like, is Jamal Murray not in the bubble?
No, he's hurt.
Oh.
He hurt himself golfing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
I don't know. They're just resting him right now. I know he hurt him. The first game he was resting because he was tired from golf, and then I think he actually hurt himself while golfing.
Jamal Murray needs to just stay away from that golf, dude.
Yeah.
But no, like
that Heat team's just too deep.
That Heat team is insane. Yeah.
top 5 shooter in the league.
If your best player is a big man, you're going to struggle against the Heat.
I want to.
Yeah.
The Heat just they got Bam, Butler, our boy Jay Crowder, 9 and 7, baby. Let's go. 3 for 4. Kendrick Nunn. Duncan went off. Kelly Olynyk went off on the bench. Damn.
Yeah, the team needs to stop playing Iggy because they're worse with him on the floor.
They got to cut Iggy and Solomon Hill out of the game.
Solomon Hill played like 2 minutes. I don't think he actually gets. I think he's probably just playing because of foul trouble and stuff. But like Iggy, I mean, even at the end of the season, post trade deadline, they were just playing worse with Iggy on the floor.
Tyler Harrow's, he played 20 minutes, but he's not very good at defense.
He is not.
No.
Ooh, you want to do a little pregame for Dallas Phoenix?
I'm down.
Not really.
I am down.
Dallas wins the game by a
I
lot.
think Dallas is going to win
wins the
comfortably.
game.
I wonder
Yeah.
what the line is. Let me check out that line.
Dallas 6.
Dallas -6. I would
All right.
I would take them to cover that pretty comfortably.
So are we all picking Bucks and the Dallas to win then?
Yes.
yeah. I would say the Rockets will cover though. I don't think the Suns will cover.
I don't think the covering really matters.
No, I don't think it. But if you're like gambling, like I mean, I know
that's
that
true.
this is not going to
Who
be a
plays
live
tomorrow?
podcast. Like I would say that Houston. What I'm saying is, I think Houston Milwaukee is going to be a close game, and I think that Mavericks Phoenix is not.
I guess
Tomorrow we
can do
have
a
Raptors
prediction
Heat,
tomorrow.
which will be a good game. Oh, that was loud.
That was very loud. Your battery's low. We might want to hurry up and finish.
Tomorrow
Alright.
we have Raptors Heat, Nuggets Thunder, Pacers Wizards, Grizzlies Pelicans, Spurs Sixers, Lakers Jazz.
All right, I'll do mine. Who I think we're gonna win. I think the Heat win the first game. I think the Thunder win the next game because I don't think Jokic is gonna play well. I think the Pacers win it. The Grizzlies win it. Sixers and Lakers.
I have Heat, Nuggets, Pacers, Grizzlies, Spurs, Lakers,
So the only thing that was different was the Nuggets and Thunder.
and I think Spurs are going to beat the Sixers.
I've got Raptors, Thunder, Pacers, Grizzlies, Spurs, Lakers.
Solid.
I mean, aren't the Raptors and Heat two like the best defensive teams?
They're up
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
the Raptors are
That's gonna
just
be a
so
good game.
hot right now. I can't fathom them losing. I guess.
Heat are hot too. Both teams are hot.
The
And right now,
Raptors
it's
have
looking like we're
won
gonna
5
have
straight, and the Heat have won 4 straight. So yeah, they're both hot. I see them. I see the Raptors winning it. Kyle Lowry was also out of his mind.
And right now, it's looking like we're gonna get a Heat Pacers first round matchup.
That's
gonna
not
be
good
silly.
for the well. The Pacers already don't have Sabonis, so I don't think anyone has any expectations for them anymore. If they had any,
We
to
can just
begin
get that
with.
nice beef between DJ and Jimmy, which is nice.
There's no
I don't
beef if you're getting
I don't really care
manhandled.
about
You
that.
can't-
If the Pacers
you
are gonna
can't
get
talk-
whooped.
Yeah, you can't talk trash losing a series 3-0. Like that just doesn't work.
Yeah. When do they play next? Don't they play twice in the bubble?
Yeah, they play each other Wednesday,
Let me check real quick.
Tuesday. Pacers play the Magic. I know they play each other.
They play the Heat on August 10th and August 14th, potentially in the first round, I think.
I'm just trying to figure out I think they'll win one of the games. I don't think they'll win both. I think they'll win the first game, but the second game they won't win.
Oh no, the time is to be determined, but they play on the 10th and the
Yeah.
14th.
The
Okay.
time isn't determined yet
Yeah.
for any games.
God,
until-
this Grizzlies game. Did they use like a minute timeout?
Yeah. Is anybody else's thing stuck at? Oh, yeah, it just updated. Okay.
Who won? Is it over or is it just?
No, it's been at 17.6 seconds for like a while, and then it just went to 13.4, and then it went back to 17.6. Fuck.
Should we just pause it and then wait until the game finishes? Because we've talked about just about everything else.
Yeah. A long episode today.
I say we just pause the podcast until the game's over.
All right, pausing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are back.
The
So
Spurs
Grizzlies
won.
Spurs game, absolute thriller.
Yeah, it came down to the last second.
I
Spurs
finally
won.
was able to find a totally legal and sanctioned stream of the game that was on television. I did not stream it illegally. And I was able to watch the last play. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is probably not the best guy to take a 3-pointer at the last
Well,
second.
he hit the 3 that tied the game.
Yeah,
so.
no, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a good stretch.
Yeah, he's a good shooter, and he hit the 3 to tie the game. So I don't.
Well, the problem was it was like a volleyball line 3.
He can hit those.
He can hit those. Who else are they gonna have shoot?
Yeah.
There is nobody in the league except for Trae Young and James Harden that I would take to shoot a volleyball
Damian
line
Lillard
for the game.
Lillard.
Maybe Lillard.
Whoa, you're wild.
I mean, I would take him to shoot a 3, but I don't know about like a volleyball line 3.
Are you forgetting the playoffs last season?
Yeah,
Go Lillard.
Lillard too. I guess.
Okay, who else do you want to take that 3? Because Dylan Brooks
no one else
was
was going to
7.
take it, and everyone else was
Dylan
kind of
Brooks,
contested.
John Morant, Jay Crowder.
Dylan Brooks was 1 of 7 from 3. John Morant was 0 of 2 from 3.
Oh yeah,
and Jay Crowder's on the Heat.
Never mind.
He's the best shooter.
Nobody else was open. I mean, I get why. I just wouldn't have drawn it up to give it to my power forward / center.
Well, he's like the power forward / center and one of the best shooting bigs in the league.
It's like him and Cat.
Yeah.
When he's on the floor, he's...
But that's okay. Spurs won.
Grizzlies are starting to lose their ace seed.
Yeah, Spurs are coming for it. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, Spurs are coming for it. I could genuinely see them taking it over with the way they've been playing right now. The past 2 games.
Yeah. Team ball. There's no I on that team.
There's an Emmy. Roasted. I got him.
I mean, yeah, that's just Pop's system. There's no one star player.
I think there can be. Tim Duncan was a star player.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't scoring 30 a night.
Well, that wasn't his game. And he wasn't.
Whoa, no.
I got offended, Aiden.
Hold on. You are not disrespecting.
I'm not
disrespecting the 2000s like that.
I didn't disrespect.
His game wasn't to score 35 a night.
Yeah.
That's just he was.
Tim Duncan averaged like 23 plus for a decade.
That's not 30.
That's not 30, but he scored 30 frequently.
But that's why I
averaged 20 plus for that long without having a lot of 30-point games. Tim Duncan was absolutely one of the most consistent scorers of all time.
Yeah. But he wasn't consistently putting up 30 or he would have averaged it. Anyway, that is the end of the episode. We've gone on for a while.
57 minutes strong?
This was just a pretty chill video because there's no real news to cover.
I mean, other than... No, there's no injuries.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon got hurt, but...
So, I think that's all. Aiden, you have anything to add?
Yeah, no. Noah, final thoughts?
Fire Jim Boylan.
Yes, I agree.
Sorry, fire Jim Boylan. This is an anti-Jim Boylan podcast.
Yeah, screw Jim Boylan.
Sell the Knicks, I mean...
Yes.
Actually, no, I want the Knicks to suffer.
Dude, their fans don't deserve this.
Their fans are annoying, though.
Yeah, they do.
Spike Lee doesn't.
Sometimes.
Spike Lee doesn't deserve this, but the Knicks fans do.
But not for this long.
It's been 20 years.
That's true.
Right.
But they also traded away their entire team.
That is all. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Check the description if you want to see our Twitter.
Do you guys actually tweet?
No.
I was going to say, you guys don't
Not really, but we should tweet more.
Yeah, I just don't use Twitter.
Self-promote.
Twitter password and
Self-promote.
All right, you can do that.
Self-promote on Insta, baby.
No, that's gay. And that's all. See you guys later.
All right, bye.